Hello and welcome to Communication Connection. I'm Terry Likes. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a big year and recently a big announcement for Mississippi State University as far as fundraising, $259.9 million, a huge amount, a record set for the university. And one of the players to make all of that happen among many is joining us here on Communication Connection, the Director of Development for the College of Arts and Sciences. Sara Frederic, thank you so much for joining us here on the program.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, break this down a little bit. This is a big announcement, and it's kind of hard to wrap your head around $259.9 million, but obviously it's big. What does this mean for the university?
It's a huge step in the right direction. Year over year since I've been back in 2016, we've just grown in private support, and our alumni and our supporters of the university have just really stepped up each year, and this year is a monumental year, obviously, because last year I think our record was 125 million. So to go to 259, it's unreal, but it's just a testament of our loyal alumni and donors and supporters who believe in us, believe in the mission and the resources that we're trying to produce here and serve our students and our staff and faculty. So it's been incredible.
A little bit about your background. I know you have sports in your background, military in your family background, and you've earned several degrees along the way. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
So I'm a three-time graduate from Mississippi State. I love the university, obviously, so I believe maroon and white. So I went to Meridian Community College for my first couple of years and transferred here in 2006, and just fell in love with the campus and the atmosphere. And I played soccer at Meridian, so when I transferred, I needed some time. I had a lot of extra time on my hands, so I just got involved with as much as I could. And athletics was an area that I got into media relations that really opened a lot of doors, because I graduated in 2008 with my undergraduate in communication, and I'm proud Arts and Sciences alum. And then the market crashed. So the only people really saying yes were graduate schools. So I stayed and got my MBA here at Mississippi State. While I did that, I was working as a graduate assistant in athletic academics. And that was a really good experience that turned into an internship at Learfield Sports, because I really wanted to do development, but I wasn't sure if it was athletics or academics. I had a lot of experience in both. And I was leaning towards athletics, and then Blue Cross Blue Shield called. So in 2011, I finished my MBA and my sports administration master's. And I went on to Jackson for 5 years. I was a project manager there till I was called back home to work for the foundation.
Well, you mentioned sports and soccer and bleeding maroon and white, and your background, sports and Mississippi State and in the SEC, that just all is a natural progression of things blending together, certainly all of those being a passion for you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's a big time. I know that many of us look forward to game days, and yet game day is a working day for you typically, isn't it?
It is. It's a great time. We've got 8 home games this season, and it's really an opportunity for all our alums to come back in town and visit and experience the athletic side of the house. But while they're here, we expose them to the academic side. So if they're coming in Thursday, we set them up with campus visits with our professors, department heads, and especially our dean, who is a wealth of knowledge about the college and what's going on, and giving them updates. And if they support, telling them what their support has been doing and what's going on, introduce them to their scholarship recipients and things like that. So we mixed in a lot throughout that time.
Many people may not know, but the College of Arts and Sciences, for which you're the development director, has 14 different departments. And so it means you have to be knowledgeable and work with people and work those relationships from chemistry, biology to physics to your department of communication, and so many in between. And that can't be easy to juggle all of those different disciplines.
Right. It was, I was lucky. Alex McIntosh was in this role before I started, and he really laid a good foundation across the board with all the departments. And I thought coming in, communication would be, it's my home department, that's where I kind of leaned towards, but over this starting my 8th year here, I've really had fun in all of them. You know, I've learned something different in all of them, and I was intimidated by physics and philosophy and religion, and you know, how do I connect with these people that are so intelligent, so successful, and done incredible things, and here I am just wanting to get to know them more and find out what they're doing and their interest in Mississippi State and giving back. Well, I've learned over the years, it's not about your degrees and your knowledge. As soon as you sit down, you have a connection. You have an immediate connection because you're both alumni of Mississippi State University, or you're a friend or a supporter. You've been loyal to the university. So we have that instant connection immediately, and I've built so many strong relationships and continue to just through that one connection. And I've learned over the years that it's not about what I know, it's more about them and what makes them special and unique to Mississippi State, their experience as a student, what they liked, what they didn't like, and how we can fix what they didn't like with support. Or if they were good and they just want to give back because they were supported when they were here, that works too. So we just find that happy medium now, and there's not as much pressure because I know the college well, and I know everybody that's the leadership's strong, our leadership at the university wide is strong. And so that's easy to promote.
You use the word relationships, and I know that's very important in what you do and, of course, in most professions. Walk us through, if you can, maybe without divulging any ones in particular, but how does nurturing a relationship start from concept to something panning out? Maybe give us an example.
Oh, there's many. So again, it's just first finding the person and finding the time in their schedule and things that they're doing, whether they're still working or retired. People are busy. And so it's figuring out, okay, an opportunity and lining something up and making that visit. And I may have in my mind, oh, they may want to do an endowed scholarship for communication. But then I go to the visit and they start talking about their love for history and English and how that impacted their career. And I'm like, well, that falls under arts and sciences too. Let's see how we can make a blended gift here. And you just kind of build of that first visit. I always take a notebook and a pen and I write notes on everything, and I let them know firsthand. I'm not recording this, I'm writing everything down, old school, to just have a better, I want to soak it all in while I'm there, so I'm not trying to distract myself. But when I go back to my office, I can read my notes and go through all that and kind of put together an opportunity that may work for them based off that visit. And sometimes I go in with an idea and they love it and they want to run with that, and we figure out the information and how it's going to work for them.
You mentioned endowing a scholarship, for example. There are so many people who love the university, they want to give back and maybe leave a lasting legacy, and that's certainly one way to do that, isn't it?
It is. So I've learned that, you know, we've been through a pandemic. We've gone through some hard things in the last 3 years. It's 3 years, I feel like, turned into 5 years. But a lot of people want to continue a legacy here at Mississippi State, and through scholarships, maybe they had scholarship support, and they remember that. They remember their donors, or they remember faculty. Anything that takes them back to when they were a student, when they were walking these halls, I love. I love seeing campus through their eyes. And then if they want to do something in honor of a faculty member or themselves or the parents, you could do a endowed scholarship, and that lasts throughout the university through perpetuity, forever. So that's just a lasting impression. But there's ways that you can also give. You can do an annual scholarship and just keep giving to that, and once it's gone, it's gone. But more people may want to give, or the family may want to give afterwards. But endowment is a fund that's set up that is endowed through the foundation. And each year, each July, there's spendable money that's made off of that gets put in an account and then gets awarded to a student.
Sara Frederic is our guest. She's the Director of Development for the College of Arts and Sciences. Your work with alumni, your work with donors, potential donors, it must be so rewarding to see things like this pan out and to see the university change in a variety of ways.
Yes, it's been, when we got back in 2016, I thought the university had grown and was shifting. But man, over the last 7 years, it's grown even more and continues to grow, and that's a sign of progress. I think Dr. Keenum said it when I first moved back, that if you see construction and you see, you know, the orange fence and everything, don't be frustrated by it. It's a sign of progress. We're moving things forward. And so every time I see that, I'm like, got to take a detour. But that's okay, because it's worth it, because in place of this is going to be a new building, a new opportunity, a way to get people back on campus. So it's been fun to watch.
Speaking of people on campus, you're one of many where your spouse also works on campus, not doing the same thing that you do, but it must be nice to be able to go home at the end of the day and have a lot of shared experiences because of Mississippi State University.
That's right. We do collaborate a lot more than I thought we would when I got back here. So he works as a database administrator for the Office of Institutional Effectiveness and Research, and they do a lot of different things, and he keeps up with the enrollment counts, and a lot of my donors want to know about enrollment, and they want to know those numbers, and I've got them down to a T. And he's great, and he's right down the road, and we have 2 girls. So we have a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old that keep us on our toes too. So it's nice to have him here, and when we bring the girls on campus, it's just like we're home.
Just saw a picture, wonderful family. You get to interact with a lot of students while you're on campus, and being a proud alum, I'm sure there are messages you'd like to share, some wisdom along the way. Share some of that with us.
You know, I've learned a lot since I've been back at Mississippi State, and when I was at Blue Cross too. And so I've had the corporate experience, I'm back on campus, and the academic experience, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And we need these young students that are coming in that are eager, that want to take on the world and change the world. Go and do, and continue to do that, and don't let any speed bump slow you down. Look at a speed bump as an opportunity to just step back, review what you're doing, and then keep moving forward. It's a good time here at Mississippi State. We have a lot of resources and different things because of our fundraising efforts and our alumni and donors and such who have really paved a way to help our students be successful. So take advantage of every opportunity while you're at Mississippi State, and then when you graduate, come back and tell us what we need to be focused on, what's evolving out there that we don't know about, because they're the difference makers. I just want to help them get through the way.
Well, that's certainly admirable. And Sarah, we certainly appreciate you joining us here on Communication Connection. $259.9 million. It'll be interesting to see how all of that is distributed and what Dr. Keenum and others have plans and how all of that comes to fruition. But we certainly appreciate the efforts of you and your colleagues to make this university a better place in the long term. So
Right.
Thank you for joining us here on Communication Connection. We wish you and your family all the best moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, Sara Frederic has been our guest, and we thank you for joining us here on Communication Connection. We hope you will join us next time. I'm Terry Likes. Thank you so much for watching.